Welterweight bout, Rinat Fakhretdinov coming in at minus 325 against Elizeu Zeleski dos Santos coming in at plus 235. Over under 2.5 rounds, minus 105 for the over, minus 125 for the under. A lot of hype around Rinat Fakhretdinov. He had the big knockout into a submission win against Kevin Lee, which was Kevin Lee's return fight. He's now 3-0 in the UFC. He's looked pretty dang good doing it. Zeleski dos Santos, 36 years of age. He's had a long UFC career, 13 fights. He got a win over Sean Strickland back in 2018 and got a win over Benoit Saint-Denis back in 2021. So both of those wins aged pretty well, but he took his suspension from USADA and had to take a 2-year layoff or 1.5-year layoff at least. Comes back against Abubakar Nurmagomedov and gets a split decision win. Coming into this one, I don't really love the price on Fakhretdinov because Zeleski has been around for so long, and you've seen the way that he can put it on you at times. Fakhretdinov, not a ton of UFC experience, but the thing that scares me is like the guy, if he gets you down, like you ain't getting back up. And Zeleski, he's been taken down a good amount of times, 65% takedown defense in his UFC career. So this one is interesting. I'm really interested to see this fight because it is a good test for Rinat Fakhretdinov. Who you got in it?
Yeah, it's a really good test. And Zeleski dos Santos being, as old as he is, 37 or 38, he's still doing the damn thing. Like against Abubakar Nurmagomedov, that line was pretty close. And, I think a lot of people thought Nurmagomedov was going to have a lot more success than he did. Ended up getting outstruck by dos Santos. Was a fairly close fight, actually really close fight. But Abubakar was able to take him down once. Benoit Saint-Denis took him down a couple of times. Li Jingliang, when they fought, took him down twice. That kind of thing worries me, especially as he's getting a little bit older, maybe a step slower than he was 5 years ago. And you got Rinat Fakhretdinov, who is just a suffocator, man. He comes in here, like, look against Brian Battle. Brian Battle landed 3 punches on the course of the 3 rounds when they fought, just because he took him down 7 times and just didn't let him breathe. And it was at the beginning of each round, Fakhretdinov would get him down. Maybe Battle would stumble up to his feet, right back to the mat, and you're controlled for the rest of the round. Fakhretdinov landed that right hand against Kevin Lee. It was nice. He showed that, he has a lot of power. He's got a bunch of knockouts on his record along with the submissions. Well-roundedness is there. The one thing I do worry about, though, is if Zeleski dos Santos just keeps working back up to his feet and starts working those body kicks like he did against Abubakar, like he did against Saint-Denis, and starts to get to Rinat. Maybe Rinat thinks he's got an easier fight here. Taking these prospects like Fakhretdinov at big favorite money like he is, it scares me because although he's fought Kevin Lee, who was on his comeback fight, probably was well washed going into that fight. Yeah, he beat Brian Battle, but we haven't seen him in any kind of adversity yet. And I hate taking guys at that price when we haven't seen how they respond to, getting clipped or getting tired and dragged into deep waters when your opponent's able to work back up to their feet. Just haven't seen enough yet. I do think he wins this fight. I do think he's a special talent. I think he's got all the tools. I think he's got his head on straight and he really wants this. But Zeleski dos Santos is kind of that party crasher to where if you let him hang around long enough, he's dangerous and he makes fights really, really close. And we saw that against Nurmagomedov in his last one. So, yeah, give me Rinat Fakhretdinov. I love Zeleski dos Santos. He's always in fun fights. But, yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Zeleski to get this one done.
Yeah, Zeleski scares me in this one. I don't think I'll be laying the juice on Fakhretdinov. Because Zeleski can make it a dogfight. For Fakhretdinov's got like one of the most scariest underrated right hands. Like you're so scared about the takedown that you don't see it coming. It's super loopy, but he lands it. And when he lands it, it hurts you. Knocked down Brian Battle, obviously knocked down Kevin Lee and made easy work of him. For dos Santos, I think if he can keep it on the feet, this fight turns into probably a pick'em. But I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that. Fakhretdinov has a good way of disguising his takedowns. They're not really shooting naked takedowns. He'll usually try to gain a little bit of respect on the feet and then throw some type of overhand or some type of jab into a takedown. And when he gets it pretty easily. So Fakhretdinov will be the pick for me. Really not happy about like the juice. So I don't know. Maybe I'll look to sprinkle something on Zeleski if he can make it a dog for, or maybe look for a live betting spot and maybe you feel it out in the first round and see where this fight may go. So